literally, Amumu could be summarized. This is Riot's relationship with... What the f***? What is this? So, I wanted to, you know, take a moment to kind of calibrate to the patch, calibrate to what's coming, and try to just keep up. I'm trying to keep up, man. Just to give you guys like further heads up on, I mean, on everything. Not just what's coming, but also how things seem to me at the moment. And by that, I mean, it's a durability patch that has been adjusted and changed and tweaked and adjusted and changed and tweaked. So I just thought I would check in and give you guys a little bit of advice on the patch and also stuff to be aware of. And also, you know, to show you that there's some changes coming here. At the moment, we have been in the durability patch. How many months now? About a month, it feels like. We have been dealing with being tankier, fights going longer, turrets doing more damage, games going longer. And how do I feel about the game right now? Or how, I guess I should say, how what you should be experiencing is probably what I'm feeling. Which is, first of all, I really like where the game's at. I don't know how you guys have felt, but I personally feel like the game right now feels better than before the durability patch. And when I say feels better, it doesn't feel as gimmicky right now. I don't know, man. Because, like, I don't think I was exaggerating when I was saying that there's a lot of champions that weren't really playing League. It was like they were playing their own trumped up version of fucking League, where you would just, you know, run around the map like a goober and get rewarded. You know what I'm saying? You'd have, like, people just running around the map. It just felt like chaos. The fights felt like chaos. The rotations felt like chaos. The fights just kind of happened instantly a lot of the time. So when I think about it, when I sit back and I think about the games I've played, and like, I posted recently that I hit Masters on one of my accounts. I hit Masters during the durability patch too. So I played, you know, towards the end of the durability patch, and then I got to Masters when the durability patch came out. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, man, the game does feel considerably more stable. Which I think overall it's a good thing. It's a good thing. There are some edge cases that were popping up. Some of the edge cases that I noticed, Olaf looked a little out of control. Zeri looked a little out of control. Champion like Vayne looked out of control, but Vayne was also nerfed pretty quick. And the only thing that I'm missing, which I'm probably going to look at today, is actually Bel'Veth. Oh, that's an A, not an E? I thought it was an A. I thought it was Bel'Veth. But other than that, like, I have to say, I'm pretty happy with where we landed. It turns out, letting the game slow down a little bit and let the processes kind of go, and let ourselves as humans kind of like see the fights, see what's happening, and respond back and forth actually does play a lot better. And I say this as a person who genuinely loves like the highest skill moments of the game, and you know how far you can take that knowledge and understanding about the interactions of champions and the mental stuff that goes into the psychology of like beating somebody in this game. So let's go through these changes that are coming so you guys can get ready, and then I'll probably take a moment to scan the champions list and see if there's any like big outliers, or maybe talk about why the outliers are the ones that they are, and maybe talk more about some of the big losers of the durability patch. But we'll start with what Riot's looking to do here. So it says, featuring tanky pets, beyond build adjustments aim to reward the champion's core fantasy cat a Shaco feeling. They should build high risk, high damage items. Still trying to find buffs in line with the durability update goals. Yeah, so this all makes sense. Katarina, I mean, I can honestly give a fuck about Katarina. I've never seen Katarina as being that bad of a champion in the past, like, half a year. I have no idea what this even is or who this is pertaining to. There was that Cat Life guy who went to Korea and was like one of the only NA streamers to do really well. And he's a pure, he was basically one tricking Katarina, who's a melee assassin, into some of the best laners in the world. And we could sit here and obviously say like Cat Life's very good at Katarina or whatever, but like I think that pretty much proves that Katarina was in a fine spot already and she was building tankier already. So I'm not entirely convinced that Katarina is in that bad of a spot, but maybe Riot's just looking at Katarina and Shaco and looking at the Sunder build and then looking at like Chase Shaco building like tank items or something as just being like, well, you know what? We don't want you building durability. We don't want you building that durability. So maybe they are going to shift power. If that's the case, this sounds more like a nerf than a buff. Like, this is just fucking over. It's just fucking over people that solve their champions, which is fine. Riot can do what they want, but it's like the classic, like when all the Tryndamere mains, like when I made Tryndamere challenger with Tryndamere and did the Gore Drinker build, it's kind of like you figure out how to make a strategy work, and then Riot comes along and is like, hey, that's not what we had in mind. They do this a lot. They do this a lot where champions don't fulfill the identity, and you find a workaround build that lets you play your champion in a way that lets you get wins versus the best players, and then Riot has to like come down and be like, no. I always found it funny though, because it's not like Katarina and Shaco are dominating pro play or anything, so I don't know if it really matters that much. But yeah, that seems to be at least on the outside looking in what they're thinking. You know? So with that said, let's look at the list. Amumu, Q mana cost is down, R damage is up. Amumu, it's so funny because Amumu is one of those champions that will never, I want you to hear me out on this one. Amumu will never be good. Like, the times that he's good, it will only last one patch. If you've been following my content for years now, you know it's true by now. You know that I'm right about this. You have seen it now multiple times. You've seen me be right about this. Amumu gets a patch, he's strong for like one patch, and then he's like nerfed. So this isn't a substantial buff or anything to Amumu. The Riot has been tweaking and nerfing and buffing and nerfing and buffing this guy so much. I do not understand the balance philosophy. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm watching these patches and it's like I'm looking around and like, are you guys seeing this champion? Like, why can't they just land on a change with specifically Amumu? It feels like every 3 weeks Amumu gets some sort of tweak. Like, he's constantly getting modified and changed. Like, it's like, we want him to be good, but we don't want him to be that good. And oh god, he's good in low elo, but like, I've never looked at Amumu, even at low elo, and thought he needed to be changed. Like, what kind of backwards ass balance? Who keeps putting Amumu on the docket for changes? Like, for like, I've been doing this so long now. I'm sitting here like 4 or 5 years deep, just like, am I crazy? Hold on. Look at this. It changes guys so much. Bonus true damage reduced. This is like where they had the despair. Okay, here it is. They have curse. Curse deals true damage. All right, the very next patch. All right, true damage is nerfed. And then they have what was it? Yeah, now he has bonus attack speed at level 1. It's base armor increased. Base health regen increased. Mana cost reduced. What do they do here? Cooldown reduced. Bandage toss reduced. I guess they are buffing him most of the time. Bonus true damage reduced. Cooldown reduced. Cooldown reduced. Dash speed increase. Cooldown increase. So there, this is where I was saying it. So it's like they increase the speed and then they increase the cooldown. And then they have the curse. No longer disarms and roots. Now it's just stuns. Health growth reduced. Base health increase. Base armor reduced, man. So it's like they move this guy around so often. Cooldown reduced. Mana cost reduced. Stun duration reduced. Like, it literally, Amumu could be summarized with it's like this. This is Riot's relationship with what the fuck? What is this? Like, they just cannot They cannot figure him out. This was in season 11. Base damage reduced. Mana cost increased. Armor growth reduced. Base damage reduction increased. And now they're posturing that they're going to do a buff again. So this guy always is just, he's being modified and tweaked over and over again. I have no idea why, because I have never been playing on an account, on any Smurf account ever. Chill knees, Smurf account, high elo, low elo, it doesn't matter. Like, I've literally never seen a Mumu and thought, oh my god, most broken carry in the universe. I did think when they added the double dash or the double Q, I thought that would change him immensely, but it didn't seem to change him that much. But he'll probably, you know, this buff isn't that substantial, so it probably doesn't change that much. Just thought it was a funny thing. You know? Annie, QAP ratio is getting a buff. Tibbers is getting a buff. I don't know why we need a buff Annie. Champ's fine. Actually, I guess people are surviving all ends more, so probably that's why they're giving her something to work off of. Blitzcrank Q. Blitzcrank's getting a buff. Isn't he one of the only supports right now that's actually like worth a shit and that's like a pseudo engage support? I mean, he's certainly not the worst. These are supports. Pantheon, Alistar. Not even, yeah, like Nautilus isn't doing great. Well, I guess Nautilus is played by like a lot of people though. Thresh isn't doing great. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he was doing that badly where he needed a buff though. At least not right now. But they're buffing his Q damage, his R damage. I guess it's more the same, like he hooks people, they don't die as often as they should. Probably their logic. Turret health on Heimerdinger. Turret health goes up. Base damage goes up. Heimerdinger has been doing fine on this patch. So this must be a low elo targeted thing. He's not really popular in high elo, even though he's amazing in high elo. It's just funny to me. There's so many one tricks that have destroyed me and has carried me in high elo with Heimerdinger. But there's only like, you see them, it feels like once in a blue moon, and they pop the fuck off, and then you never see Heimerdinger again. He's got one of the lamest lanes to face. It actually got to a point a year or so ago where when I would see Heimerdinger laning against me, it was like 2 years ago. Like if I saw there was a Heimerdinger on the other team and I didn't have a pick for it, I would just dodge. Because the lane phase is so obnoxious that I would legitimately rather dodge than face it. So, yeah, he's really annoying. The reason why he's not very good in low elo, though, is because the turret placement is actually pretty advanced. Like, that sounds dumb. Like, turret placement could be advanced. But if you think about it, you put a turret down, and it, like, pushes your lane automatically. It's like, how close... Like, where in the wave do I put the turret to push fast enough, but to not push too fast, to get my turrets down, and to defend myself if I get ganked? But if you could solve that, like, he's pretty crazy. Ivern, this is the one that got a lot of flack on Twitter. The passive base health cost is going down, mana cost is going down, E-shield is going up, base HP on Daisy is going up, resistance is going up. Yeah, Ivern one tricks are pretty happy with this one. This seems like overkill to me. That shield is going to be up like throughout an entire fight. And if Daisy's HP is going up also, you're never killing people fucking around with Ivern. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. That's pretty strong. Not gonna lie. Jarvan buff. Passive cooldown and mana per level. Passive cooldown is just the auto attacks that do big damage. That's a pretty substantial buff. Jarvan's late game actually gets a huge buff off this. I wouldn't be surprised if you could even get away with doing stuff like Lane Jarvan here. Lane Jarvan doesn't even sound that bad here. The guy is able to actually deal some damage to tanks. Like, that's not bad. Like, that passive hurts. That passive hurts. So having it on a lower cooldown is really going to help, and he's going to be doing a lot more damage as the game drags on. Because usually Jarvan falls off pretty hard. Seraphine, ECD is going down, and then the ECC duration is going up. Does Seraphine really need help? Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't she like already doing fine? I guess not. What about in bot lane? Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced that she needs this. How often is she being picked? Who decides to buff this shit? She's not even being picked that much. Sometimes I feel like they just have like a dartboard with random champions, and some guy like this Phlox guy is just fucking winging it, and he's just throwing darts into this board, and then he's just like, yeah, send it. You know what I mean? Because Seraphine's fine, but maybe not as a support. But as like a scaling carry champ, I mean, I suppose her identity to me right now seems like if you're gonna play Seraphine, why play her support? And that I had the coaching with Cupic, and Cupic has like phenomenal success with Seraphine, and he doesn't play really support like that often. So Yorick, Mistwalker base health is going up. Base move speed, the Mistwalker is going up. Maiden base health is going up. Ooh. Maiden chase range on E. That's, dude, this is huge. Okay, this is a scary one. We're talking about scary buffs on this patch. This is a scary buff to Yorick. There's a lot to unpack here. 75% of Yorick's HP. Yeah, this is scary. Sorry. Yeah, of all the buffs that I've seen here, this one seems to have the most like implications. He's getting, not only is he getting a buff, he's getting a massive buff. Has he been just garbage right now? Okay, he's garbage in platinum, which I already knew. He's not that bad in Diamond Plus. He's not that bad in Diamond 2 Plus. I mean, to be fair, this is pretty low sample, but yeah, this buff is huge. Across all ranks, he's already doing well. Yeah, this is a monumentally this is a monumental buff. His ghouls get more HP, they get more move speed, the maiden base health gets more health, and maiden will die less to towers, which is what newbies do all the time with Yorick, as they just let the maiden int. That's why it literally says maiden should int less on the thing. That's massive. Maybe I'll play Yorick someday. That guy's crazy. Belveth, see Riot August for full list. I don't know enough about her to comment yet, if I'm being direct. So I'm gonna try her out soon, actually. I might just play a game with her just to see. Dr. Mundo passive regen is being nerfed. As Mundo's being nerfed. Mundo's another one. Like, these are such strange nerfs. Like, what is Riot seeing? These must be all like low elo. Actually, you know what? You know what? That's what this whole patch is. Riot's in their office right now, and they're actually looking at low elo scenarios. Oh, actually, that's not true. Mundo has been dominating. Okay, well, durability patch was kind to Mundo. No, it's not a noob patch. Mundo's destroying everybody. Iron, bronze, silver. Holy shit! Has a champion ever had this big of a result across the entire spectrum of the ladder? Holy crap! Nerfed the shit out of that guy. What did they do to him? Base health increase. Yeah, it's a pretty big nerf. 5% at the max rank. Passive regen goes down to... Yeah, they nerfed the sustain quite a bit. He's still going to be strong, though. That's a pretty... Kit-wise, he's still rocking. But yeah, he is destroying. Fiora, I mean, I like Fiora, but I think she's a little strong on this patch. She has been pretty strong for a while. She's been one of my go-to Smurf champs for a while. I think a nerf is justified. There's really... You never... I mean, she is the grand duelist, but it feels like you can't even... It feels like the grand you lose. Like, there's not even... It's not even a duel. It's not even a conversation a lot of the time. Fiora just beats your ass. It takes your LP. Janna's been strong for... The same as Fiora. She's been strong forever. She's had, like, edge cases like the Smite Top Janna and all that, so nerf totally scans with me. Lucian, I mean, people can't even pilot Lucian. I mean, I guess his win rates have been okay, but convincing me that Lucian is strong is always hilarious. But I guess in the right hands, Lucian's probably been enjoying a lot of wins, even the bad ones. So Riot wants to tone that back. Also, laning against him is pretty obnoxious, so not dealing with such an oppressive lane phase is obviously a welcome change. Singed... W slow nerf, R base stats. Oh, he scales up better though. Okay, so this is targeting purely roams. Because you can see his base stats are fine by late game. But here, early levels, he takes a slight hit. So it just makes his roams less successful. That's what they're looking for here with this nerf. Singe won't go anywhere though, still super strong pick. Viego, should Viego be getting nerfed? Probably. WE no longer instantly stealths Viego. Ooh. Yeah, that's a pretty big nerf. 2% targets max HP, bonus damage. Yeah, this is a big nerf. Viego must have been getting some good results. Now, I've seen some... I obviously play Viego, and I've seen some people popping off of Viego. This would be one of those... let's see what it looks like across all ranks. So this must be a high elo focused nerf. Pick rate. Oh, every idiot and their mom is playing it, so don't get confused by the win rate results. Yeah, everybody's picking him. And he's getting... So this is a perception nerf. Viego's not that strong. At least not strong enough to be nerfing him as hard as they're nerfing him. This is a perception nerf. He's not... Idiots are playing him, and that's dragging down his win rate, yes. But this is not... They're not... Like... Everybody that's playing him is not good at Viego, obviously. So this is a perception nerf. This is where Riot looks at their ban and pick data and goes, all right, everybody's telling us that he's broken, so we just need to do something here. Because the picks and bans, everybody just loves this guy right now. Wow, what a balanced nightmare for them. What a balanced nightmare. But yeah, anybody that's actually getting good results with Viego is going to be depressed with this nerf. This is a huge nerf. This reduces your ability to kill people. This reduces the ability to survive across the board after killing people, and reduces the ability to navigate fights. It's a fucking mess. Any close situations aren't close no mo. Zeri was getting banned all the time in high elo after this hotfix. So yeah, nerf is deserved. Very much so. And then here... we have Katarina build path, Shaco build path. So let's start with Katarina. Passive dagger bonus AD ratio is going down. E damage is going up. But the total AD is going down. Our bonus AD ratio, that damage is going up. On hit dagger ratio is going up. So this is nerfing yeah, this is a Sunderer nerf. Through and through, they want to shift her more to be an actual assassin. I'm gonna give you a hint. It makes Katarina suck. That makes Katarina suck. These tanky builds are the only thing that keep her afloat. And same with Shaco here. Armor growth is going down. HP growth is going down. QAD ratio is going up. WAP ratio is going up. EAP ratio is going up. EAD ratio is going up. So they're making him squishier. They're making him squishier. And they're giving him more damage so that he can't build tanky anymore. How bad was Shaco? Shaco must... Did my head get bashed by a rock? Did the durability patch just kill Shaco? How badly was this patch for Shaco? That's a pretty low sample. I mean, I guess. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So the tank build is getting value in high elo. And the one tricks have been figuring it out. Because they're like, this is hilarious. The one tricks figured it out. And because Shaco sucks so much dick building standard. And Riot was like, nah. You don't get to do that shit. Yeah, because you can see if you're building standard Shaco build, you're not really getting a great result. You're doing okay. How do I feel about this? Do I care? This is an overbuff. Why are they giving him 15% AD ratio on Q and 5% increase in ratio on E, on AD, and on AP, and on AP for the W? They are still kind of nerfing him, I guess. Well, fuck Shaco. Like, what the fuck? It's fine. This is one of those scenarios where it's like there's plenty of Shaco players that are surviving in high elo. So after these changes, he's still gonna do fine. But I hate Shaco. Like, no one wants to play against fucking Shaco. No one likes this guy. Let him stay in the weeds. No one likes playing against this guy. I don't know. I think this is really deserved. Yeah, I think after these changes he'll be in a much better spot, because at least Shakos can build him like an assassin now and get rewarded, and the good ones will probably still be fine. These are a lot of buffs, so I think Shaco's damage line will be a lot more reliable now. It's probably going to shift this champion immensely because he is going to be squishier as well. But we'll see. We'll see if he's super annoying. Yuumi passive shield is going up. Base heal is going down a little bit. I mean, it seems like in my opinion, just looking at the numbers here, this just looks like a pure nerf. They're also pushing in a lot of... Oh, and then Soraka's healing is going up, and then they're removing the grievous wounds. It no longer removes grievous wounds. So Riot looks like what they're doing here. If you look at these, a lot of these changes, like the Ivern change as well, like they're shifting a lot of power into heals and to shields, which I think is a funny way to go about it. I guess shields are more they have more skill expression than a heal, right? Because the shields you would put on somebody at the right timing, heals stay on you no matter what, right? I'm a pretty dumb human, so correct me if I'm wrong, but it certainly feels like shields are definitely more skill expressive than pure heals. But anyways, it seems like they're shifting a lot of power budget onto shields. Serpent's Fang will, rejoice. Night Harvester now includes Fiendish Codex, Predator, max move speed, damage. CD is up. The move speed scales. Late game. Okay, so that's just a nerf to Predator. Like, I don't care what you say. Predator is used to early game cheese. It's not used for late game. Like, no one plays Predator to late game. And that's a summary of the patch. I think we've kind of figured out where Riot's at right now. in terms of what they're thinking. Like, they're trying to give some champions a little bit more agency as assassins by giving them a little bit more damage and pulling back on the things that let them do these like nuanced builds, which is very like meta slave. Like, you will build the way we want you to build, right? Supports are often getting told that they need to just do more shielding. Yorick looks like a monster. Some of the low elo champions, and then some of the obvious offenders of being busted or getting nerfed was like the low elo champions that are historically, you know, required to exist or getting their rounds, like the Amumu, the Annie, the Blitzcrank. And yeah, nice summary of the patch. Oop, don't check your DMs on stream. This is so bad. We don't have to int. Stop fucking freaking out. You just see it and you're like, I can just